Chris Myers, everybody.
All right, Unity in Tampa, good morning. Will you guys go ahead and
to stand and sing this welcoming song of ours here. Come on in. Come on. Fantastic to see you all. Standing outside the door of love and mercy, you wonder if there's a place there for you. You know there's peace inside, but still you're searching for someone who understands the pain you've been through. Where the Father waits with open arms, He's calling out your name. Welcome home, you are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in, yeah, come on in. You'll find a place of rest and illumination, where God within you helps you to light your way. He knows the peace you need and the hurt you're feeling. He longs to hold you and to wipe your tears away. With the doors unlocked, the lights are on. What are you waiting for? Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in, yeah. Where there's room enough in this home of love for someone just like you. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter Tampa, come on in, yeah. Hey guys, thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here with us. Looks like we have Piper coming up here.
Time escaped me this morning. I was like,
you learn
oh
how
my
to use the
gosh.
microphone, you got to leave, right?
Yeah, right? No, I've actually known for quite a while, but they don't think I know, so they've been turning it on for me, which is fine. I'm fine with that. All right. Good morning, guys. Good morning. I have a sore throat, but I am not contagious. I promise. And if you're wondering what the costume is, I am Simon from Alvin and the Chipmunks. My brother is Alvin, and Mel is Theodore. So, all right. Comfort zone. Everybody likes to be comfortable. I feel really comfortable staying with my routine and not trying new things, but that makes my day pretty boring. And I certainly would limit my range of experiences. But there are things that I want to do that make me break out in a cold sweat just thinking about them. The list might include public speaking, jumping off of a high dive platform, trying out for a sports team, or even telling someone I love you. But I do not have to take some risks if I want to really enjoy it. But I do have to take some risks if I really want to enjoy life. So I take a deep breath as I step out of my comfort zone. When I face my fears and move through them by taking action towards my goals, a surprising thing happens. My comfort zone expands. It might take a few tries at something before I really feel at ease, but gradually I become comfortable in this new activity. The thing I used to fear now adds an exciting new dimension to my life. And this has always been my favorite. All of my relationships are enveloped in a circle of love. We are all students and teachers. I often ask myself, what did I come here to learn? And what did I come to teach?
Thank you, Piper. And we're going to sing these kids right on out of here. We got a trunk or treat event here at the end of the service. It's very important for the kids, so everyone stick around for that. We're looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you, Piper.
Yeah, thank you.
I am walking in the light, in the light, in the light. I am walking in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God.
Hello, everyone. It's time to welcome the new visitors. And how did I know it was time? I read my Witch Watch. We're looking for her. All right, all visitors for the first time. I'm not going to identify myself. You're just going to have to guess who I am. So if you're a new visitor, will you just raise your hand? And thank you for being here. We have a gift for you. Thank you. We have a gift for you at the back table, so don't forget your T-shirt. So announcements. Wow, we've got so much going on today. We have Charlie Tweet.
Yes, tweet. That's right.
Yeah. Wow, a perfect twick or tweet day. All right. So, hey, I know it's going to be hardship, but we're going to fall back next Sunday. You get an extra hour of sleep. Don't come here early because it'll still be locked up. So next week. Oh, welcome, Charlie. All right. So let's see where we are with the announcements. Trunk or treat. All right, after the service, you're going to be bewitched by the trunk or treat. So I hope that, I know I've gathered with a lot of bewitchers out there. So it's going to be a really fun event. We always love that. All right, tail waggers. Wag your tail. They're back. No pause required. Walk for your dog. This Friday, November 4th, 9 a.m. Al Lopez Park, which is just a beautiful park, I have to say. All right. And next, refresh your knowledge. Refresh your knowledge. What is unity? Next Sunday, November 6th from 12:15 to 2:15, member, if you're looking to be a member, and I hope you are, because it's a wonderful thing, or just for fun and learning, join Nancy next Sunday, membership class. And, oh, this is so exciting. We watched her grow up right here at Unity. Former Unity of Tampa YOU Julie Williams will perform live at the Attic, Ybor City, Friday, November 25th. Get that on your calendar. That is going to be really fun. So, and she's a fabulous singer, as we all know. Peter Cater in concert, Friday, November 2nd, 7 p.m. How are we letting people know that you're going to get tickets for that? Because I think online.
Yeah, I believe that the website and the Breeze app and probably even on Facebook, there are links to purchase those, if I'm not mistaken, David.
Great.
We'll have more information for you if you guys want to see anyone after the service. we
Yeah,
can get some more.
December 2nd, it's a long way away yet. We got to get through Thanksgiving and Halloween. Okay, all right. So now, meet and greet in Fellowship Hall after the service, but you're going to go to the trunk or treat, then sneak over there. Okay, Angels Always Wanted, and they've been so helpful. As you know, every Sunday we have fab food over there. So Vivian's in charge, and she's doing a great job. And all right. And there's other announcements that are in your bulletin. So the Grief and Recovery Group, that's going to be the third Sunday, and Course in Miracles. But and the Soul Sisters Support Group, read about that. The birthdays today, Sharon Hall, happy birthday, is going to be on the 4th, and Brenna McEwen is November 1st. So that's Tuesday. So, now wait, before you sing the birthday song, I wanted to ask First of all, I've got to, well, I'll do that next, but I wanted to ask you how you make a witch itch. Oh my goodness. No, you take away her W. And Jeffrey Bean asked where the good witch was when I came in, so I just want to say to him, ziggity, iggity, zaggity, zoom, he's gone. So, now,
Pat Fenda, everybody.
birthday song.
We're going to sing happy birthday to these October babies. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, God loves you. Happy birthday to you. Thanks, guys. All right, so it's my absolute pleasure to welcome Charlie Thweet. Everyone give him a nice Unity of Tampa welcome. And take it away, Charlie.
Good morning. I live in Clearwater, so I snuck over for the morning. And we're going to do thank you. This is a kind of a congregation song, and this is called Feet on the Ground. And there are no lyrics to read on the screen. It's really simple. And this is really about, well, let me ask you, do you ever feel like you're learning these unity principles, and maybe sometimes it feels like they're woo-woo up in the air, and you really want to bring them into your life, like really ground them? So this is kind of about that. The words are very simple. Put your feet on the ground, and then be in my heart and have connection. That's all you need to remember, okay? Feet on the ground, be in my heart, and have connection. So would you put your feet on the ground? Would you stand up where you are? Let me get you to rock to your right and clap, to your left and clap, to your right. Okay, we're getting it going here. Here we go. So get ready to sing, too. Put your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Feet on the ground. Join in. Put your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Feet on the ground. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart again. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart. Put your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. Okay, so that was, can I get my mic on? My mic on? Test. Here we go. So let me, so that was part one. So here comes part two. We're singing about connection, right? So I want you to find somebody near you and turn near someone, find a partner, and look in their eyes, keep clapping. So turn and face somebody, and we'll sing it again. Here we go. Put your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Feet on the ground. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart again. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart. Put your feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. Give a big hug. Give your partner a hug. Thank Thank you.
So much more coming up from Charlie.
So is now the Be Still?
Well, actually,
We did slot that in. Here we are.
it worked out all in divine order, my friend. Look at that. What do you know?
There aren't going to be any good stories today. Sorry, because Nancy is having fun. But Nancy, I'm not disappointing you. I have not forgotten that I need to read the daily word here today. And also we need to do our affirmation. Can, Duncan, do you have, okay, yes. So everyone together, there is only one power and one presence in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And today, is this today? Is it Sunday, October 23rd? Yeah. Okay. You don't look like that. Nancy, this isn't my fault. Oh, thank goodness I'm being protected up here. Protection. God is here and I am safe from all error. Once in a while, I enjoy doing things that frighten me. Sharing ghost stories around a campfire, watching a spooky movie, even savoring the uneasy feeling just before thundering down the first hill of a roller coaster. All these things can feel scary, even though I know I'm in no danger. If I begin to feel unsafe in any situation, I remember that right where I am, God is. Breathing out, I release tension. My body relaxes. Fearful thoughts begin to dissolve. Breathing in, I think more clearly. Slowly, I regain renewed strength and peace of mind. My confidence returns as I remember that nothing in the world can prevail against the strength, the wisdom, and the love of God. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I fear no evil, for you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Psalms 23:4. And we also wanted to welcome our Facebook fans and show the map of all the wonderful people. Duncan, do we have the map of the Facebook? Okay, all right. All right. Fear no error. All right, well, all of you people all over the country, we see the map. There's lots of you. Welcome. I hope you are bewitched. But stay, because the perfect stay tuned. Now, coming up after music will be Virginia, releasing your fears.
I am bewitched. Okay. Can I get a little more vocal in my monitor? Thank you. We're going to use this song to go into a time of meditation. It's really 7 simple words you've heard before. Be still and know. I am God. Maybe let that be that inner voice calling you to stillness, knowing the I am. Let your eyes close. You can add your voice when you're ready. Be still and know I am God. Be still and know I am God. Add your voice. Be still and know I am God. Be still and know I am God. harmony if you want. Be still and know I am God. 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 Still and I am God. Still and I.
In this prayerful state of consciousness, if you haven't closed your eyes already, I invite you to do so, bringing our attention inward. As we close our outer eyes, we bring our attention inward into our heart space. And I invite you to relax your shoulders, relax and allow the chair to support the weight of your body, as you are always supported by Spirit within. And we relax even more with deep conscious breathing. And so I invite you to exhale fully. Exhalamos completamente, making space for a breath, a deep, profound breath. Breathing in deep down into the belly. Respiramos profundamente. Allowing the belly to expand as you breathe in. And then exhale again completely, releasing and letting go. Again, breathe deeply down into the belly, welcoming the breath, opening to the breath. And exhaling again, gently and fully, releasing and letting go. One more time, we breathe in deeply, welcoming that breath of life. And as we exhale, we let go of any concerns. You may want to exhale with a gentle sigh. And now allow the breath to find a natural rhythm. Being present to the breath. And also holding your attention inward in your heart space. And if you would like, I invite you to put one or both hands over your heart, helping you to focus in that area, which we know is not only physical heart, but the spiritual energy of divine love is centered in this part of our body temple. Holding your hands there, you may begin to feel warmth. The warmth of your hands, connecting with your heart space. Reminding you that you are divine love in expression. Centered in our hearts, still and receptive. We remember that we are unconditionally loved at all times. And no matter what we have done or not done, we are always loved, just as we are. For divine love loves for the sake of loving, without any limitations. And so there's nothing we can do to keep God from loving us. And in return, we are to be that expression of divine love that we have received. The love that heals wounds. The love that unites and harmonizes. The light of love that guides us in every moment of life. If there's any area of your body that needs healing, you may want to send it loving energy. And like our co-founder Myrtle Fillmore did, she spoke love to all the organs of her body and apologized for thinking of them as weak. So she proclaimed their wholeness and their vibrant good health. And her prayers and affirmations healed her body temple, just as we can receive that healing of divine love as well, whether it is physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual. We are the love that is needed here and now. And so as we take some time in the silence, I invite you to affirm for yourself, I am loved, I am loving, I am divine love in expression. I am loved, I am loving, I am divine love in expression. Yo soy el amor divino en expresión en mi vida. Como estamos centrados en el amor divino, enviamos ese amor a todo el mundo. So if you'd like to take your hands off your heart now And just open your palms outward. And send loving thoughts to those that you know who are in need of loving energy. And send these loving thoughts also to people everywhere, in every country and every part of our world. We share our love that is not limited by time or space. And now we bring our attention back to the room. And I invite you to notice how you're feeling. If there's been a shift in your energy during this time of meditation. As we receive and experience divine love, it is our purpose to share it. For it is in giving love that we are the full expression, as well as receiving love. Remember as you go forward that you are divine love. You are loved, you are loving, you are divine love in expression. Yes, I see, and so it is. I invite you to open your eyes now if that's comfortable for you. And you might want to look around and make some eye contact, because I bet those around you are holding that vibration of love also. Thank you. I feel better. Anybody else feel better? And we are certainly sending our love to Nancy and Jeff as they travel to celebrate a relative's 90th birthday, is it? What a joyful occasion. So I am so thrilled and honored to be here so that they could go on that trip and be with their family members and share all the love that they hold. And they are wonderful, loving beings. So, Halloween's not really noted for a holiday for love, is it? But did you know that the traditions that we practice for Halloween go back over 2,000 years to a pagan festival? Anybody in here know about the festival of Samhain? Oh, goody, I get to share. Was there a hand up over here? I heard that there's a lady here from Wales and one from Britain, so I thought, well, surely they know about this. So, about 2,000 years ago, over 2,000 years ago, the Celtic people in the British Isles had a pagan religion, and on October 31st, they celebrated the Lord of Death, Samhain. So Samhain, the festival of Samhain had multiple purposes. One, October 31st was the end of their year, so November 1st would be their new year. It was the end of the season of the harvest, but it was also because it was the end of the year and beginning of a new year that it was believed that on October 31st, the separation between the spirit world and the physical world was very thin. We know it's that way all the time, but they believed that day it was especially thin. So what would happen then, because there was an opening from the spirit world to the physical world, that relatives, the spirits of relatives who had passed on, would come visit. So they would put out food for their relatives that were coming to visit. But also because there was an opening, that through that opening also came some mischievous spirits, some evil spirits who wanted to do harm. And they would damage property or even the crops, which were very important to their survival, of course. So it was a mixture of things. Happy to see the spirits of the relatives, not so happy to see the evil spirits, right? So what did they do about it? So one of the things they did to celebrate the new year is that they would put out their hearth fire. Now think about this, because 2,000 years ago, right? The fire was everything. It was light, it was warmth, it was the way to heat food, it was the way of protection. So the fire was very important, and the bonfires of the Druids and the Celtics were considered sacred fires when they burned the oak. So they would put out their hearth fire, and that was part of the new year. Then the next thing they would do is they would take big turnips and carve them up, to put a face on them, and carve them out, and they would put a little candle in there so that the light would shine on their doorstep and protect their homes. Sound familiar? Well, of course, they didn't have any pumpkins because I know, is this scary or what? I mean, this is so Halloween. So this actual pumpkin jack-o'-lantern here is preserved from the early 1800s, which of course was much later than 2000 BC, but I find it terrifying. So I would not want to see that on my doorstep. But anyway, so that was part of their ceremony. So they would make these little turnip lanterns to leave on there, and then they would dress up in animal skins so that the evil spirits didn't recognize them. And they had masks. Sound familiar? And they would go into the center of the village to a big bonfire. And we have a slide depicting that bonfire. So they would dance around the fire in their costumes. And this, of course, was a sacred fire of oak. And the fire was protection from the evil spirits, but it was also a symbol of their community. And they would dance around the fire. So I call that their dancing with their fears. So that tradition carries on even today, too. Now, the other nice thing about this I find very interesting, very meaningful, was when they, at the end of the night, when they left the bonfire, each one would take a log, a burning log, and take it home and relight their hearth fires. So the new hearth fire was a symbol of moving into the new year. So later on, of course, when the Americas were discovered by Europeans, we had these great pumpkins over here, which became the jack-o'-lanterns. And today, our costumes sometimes are scary, sometimes are funny. But you can see how the customs have changed, but how they developed from that ancient festival. And actually, there were many Christian holidays that were, pagan holidays that were converted to Christian holidays. Christmas is one of them. Easter is another, for example, that all had their origin in the pagan religion. Today, the spiritual meaning of the Festival of Samhain is not known, obviously, but I love talking about it because I think it's fascinating, and I enjoy history, and I enjoy knowing how things developed and how they got started. So most people won't know about the spiritual significance, but I do find it meaningful and hope that it will add to the meaning of your Halloween this year, to know that there were spiritual symbols in all of the things that we use and the customs that we have around Halloween. So the Celtics dealt with fear in their own way, and we, of course, have our own way of doing it. So today, the scariest thing that happens are probably the haunted houses that you go to and the scary movies that are on TV now. You know, this is my least favorite time. I don't like scary movies. I'm sorry, I don't. So, there's scary movies. There's a few scary costumes. And, of course, the haunted houses and things that we do. It's almost like we are pretending to be scared, but having fun pretending to be scared or wanting to be a little startled or frightened, right? And so Halloween, if we look at it historically, does have some spiritual significance for us. It also shows us that dealing with fear is something that humanity has done from probably the beginning. Fear is a part of the human experience. All of us have developed fears. If you're in a human body, you have developed fears here or there. Psychologists tell us that we have repressed spiritual fears because we don't like to deal with it. Especially people in New Thought, like Unity and other New Thought groups. You know, we're supposed to stay positive. We're not supposed to look at, have fear. We're not supposed to be sad or any of what we call the negative feelings, but they are all a part of the rainbow of feelings of the human experience, and we all have it. And so spiritually we look at it that fear and love are opposite ends of polarity. So fear transformed becomes love. Love is the healing of fear within us, and I'll tell you more about that. But I'd like to show you a quote from David R. Hawkins. We have that one, Brendan. Fear is so pandemic that it is the ruling emotion of our world. Anybody startled by that? We see it a lot, don't we? We see the manifestations of fear in the violence and conflict and inhumanity and, all of the things that we see that are not loving. So fear can be debilitating too. But for him to say, if you don't know, anybody know about David R. Hawkins? A few. So you look him up on YouTube. He's got amazing videos. And he also, I recommend to you, a book that, one of his more recent books, Letting Go. And it really is this big book, and it really covers letting go all of the emotions that are holding us back from our peace and joy in life. And it's an amazing book that in great detail, and I'm going to give you some of the summaries of what he recommends as far as letting go of fears in our lives. So David R. Hawkins is a psychiatrist, a well-known psychiatrist and author, but he also is a mystic. Early in his life, he had a very mystical experience. This person of science, this doctor of psychology, had deep mystical experiences that brought him close to his own spiritual expression. So I highly recommend his books. You may know of his book, Power versus Force, which was his first book, and about that he could measure vibrations in electrical hertz. So very interesting, what he has to teach has a lot of impact and can be beneficial to us all. So he's one of my heroes sort of in his spiritual unfolding and in his clarity of his teachings. And he has a great sense of humor. When you see the videos, he's really a funny guy too as well. So fear affects us on many levels and in many ways. So could I see the next slide there, Brendan? So fear affects us physically, mentally, and spiritually. Physically, in fear damages our immune system and many other ways that fear and stress affect our physiological well-being. Excuse me. And so I'm sure you know that. And it feels terrible, doesn't it? Fear is no fun. So the physical aspect of it, though, in addition to the emotional, is that it actually hurts our body and diminishes our health. Not only physically, but mentally. Because when we're afraid, we don't think clearly, we're easily confused, we're not grounded, we're off balance mentally as well. And then, of course, spiritually. Fear can really affect us spiritually. It can create doubt. And so that creates challenges to our belief system and also to our relationship with the divine. For fear can put us in a feeling of separation from spirit. And I had an experience of that my first year of ministry. I was in Kissimmee, the minister there, and one day I was getting ready for the Sunday service, and I'm, working on my talk and so forth, and bulletin and everything, and then all of a sudden I was looking at all these ideas, and I thought, this thought came into my head, what if all of this is a lie? What if somebody just made this up? Do you ever feel like that? I mean, we've got all our affirmations and denials, and we know all these 5 principles, and we, know all these things, but the thought came into my head, what if it's all a lie? It chilled me to the core. And I was terrified. I said, if all of this is a lie, what does my life mean? I mean, I've become a Unity minister. I've started my ministry. What if this is a lie? And then there was a grace moment, and I said, wait a minute. What about the time I had that healing? What about that guidance I got to do this or that? What about the time that God's love healed this relationship in my life? What about all the prosperity God has brought into my life? what about, what about? And I started counting my blessings. And it got me out of that deep, dark hole. And thank God I have never experienced that again. But you know, that's picking up on the negative thoughts that are in the collective consciousness. And sometimes those thoughts come into our heads, or it may be a thought from old programming. So we can be affected on all levels. So what do we do about it? First of all, let's start on the physical. If you're worried, if you're anxious, if you're tense, if you're fearful, what can you do? What do we normally say? Take a deep breath, right? There's a reason for that. It really works. But it's not the deep breath, the breathing in, that relaxes us. It's the exhale. So one of the things you can do to relax is do a longer exhale than an inhale. Make your exhale twice as long as your inhale. And that signals a relaxation response in the body. At the same time, just hold your wrist. Just try that right now. Just take your wrist. You know, you could just, and people do this all the time, right? We self-soothe and calm, don't even know what we're doing. But these are calming pressure points in our body that also trigger the relaxation response. So if you're ever tense in some situation and you don't want people to know it, you can just sit there calmly and hold your wrist and do some longer exhales and smile. Smiling also triggers a relaxation response. Even if you're not feeling like smiling, try it anyway. And try it in meditation. Sit in meditation and just smile. And notice how it shifts your vibration. There are lots of breath patterns and techniques we can use. One of the basic is into 4, out to 4. Or do the quad, in 4, hold 4, out 4, hold 4, and just keep doing that. And if you want to try a really great one for spiritual, for really raising your vibration, is to breathe in for 10, hold for 8, out for 12. 10, 8, 12. Mentally, what can we do? We can examine our beliefs and say, is this really true? Because sometimes we have kept childhood beliefs that are no longer true. So it's good for us to examine, you know, my family always said this, or we always believed that, but is that really true? You know, examine that. What do you know now with who you are now? Mentally also is important because this is our level of choice. Choosing our thoughts, choosing procedures and methods and techniques that help us to move out of fear. And then, of course, spiritually, we have a lot. Meditation. When we sit and become still, and the voice in the head goes away, even if it's only for half a millisecond, every moment that we are in that complete wordless peace, we are open to that voice of the inner Christ within. So we practice meditation. Your mind, you know, sometimes I sit to meditate and the mind never stops the whole time. But that's okay. The point is to practice every day. Practice, practice, practice. And those spaces become more and more. Prayer, of course, is one way that we shift our consciousness. You know, prayer is not about getting God to change God's mind. Prayer is about us changing our consciousness so that we are in the flow with the divine, that we are aligned with the divine within us. We can also use our denials and affirmations. I like to use negation instead of denial, because denial is confused with psychological denial that this isn't really going on. So we can negate. We can say, this fear is not my truth. My truth is the love and peace of God. I am the peace of God. I am the love of God. Just do a declaration for the fear. You are not my truth. I let you go. And then we can use our 12 powers. Ones that come to mind are like faith and will. Of course, love, understanding, strength, because our real strength is mental strength. The strength to choose and choose again. And then in our letting go process, we learn to become an observer. Just notice what you're feeling. It's really hard to notice what we're thinking because there's so many thoughts racing through our mind all day long. But we can notice in every moment, how do I feel right now? Am I kind of neutral? Am I sad? Am I anxious? Am I peaceful? Am I happy? Because if I'm not on the positive end of that spectrum, I am not aligned with my true self. It's our emotional guidance system. Where am I vibrationally in this moment? And so there's a next slide, Brandon, please. This scripture is one that you probably know. It's often used when we talk about letting go of fear. God did not give us a spirit of fear, but a spirit of power, love, and self-discipline. Notice those three words: power, spiritual power, love, divine love, and self-discipline. It does take discipline to notice how I'm feeling and what do I do if I want to change that. So fear can be debilitating and take over our lives, but if we know how to release it, then we can move back into the peace and joy that we are meant to experience, the wholeness and well-being on every level. So I want to go over this releasing technique with you, and this is what David R. Hawkins teaches as far as the basic letting go technique. And so we begin by being the observer, noticing how I'm feeling. So if I notice that I'm anxious, that I'm worried, that I'm dreading something, or that I'm in an all-out panic, just notice, what am I feeling? And here's the challenging part. Don't push it away. Don't judge it. Don't try to change it. Just let it be. Just let it be. Now, some of you might think this is absolutely terrifying, because if I let this fear be, it may take over my life and I may never come out of the fear. And that is what people may be afraid of sometimes. But all we have to do is let it be. It's only a feeling that came from some belief or thought, or a feeling we've picked up from someone else. It's a feeling, and it comes and it goes. It may take 20 minutes. It may take 2. We just let it be. Just let it be, and it will dissipate. And when it dissipates, you'll move up in vibration as that fear dissipates, and it will. There was one time that Dr. Hawkins was working on grief and sadness. It took him 2 weeks, but that's really, really unusual. In the moment, let it be, and it will pass. This too shall pass. And so we know that a feeling not resisted will pass. But if we try to resist it or repress it, it just makes it stronger. And then it's going to show up in your life when you least expect it. And I like to say it'll come back around and bite you in the butt. So that we don't want, right? So this is the basic. It's that simple. It sounds simple, but of course it takes a lot of discipline and commitment to do that. But the more we practice it, the easier it gets and the happier we get. If we want to be free from the tyranny of fear, we have to let it be for a few moments. Let it dissipate and not judge ourselves when we feel any of the negative feelings. It's as simple as that. So I hope these techniques will help you when fear arises for you in your life. And so the takeaways that I have for you today are that fear is only a temporary emotion caused by negative programming. Notice when you feel fear, allow it to be present until it dissipates, and it will. And know that our truth is that the almighty presence and power of God expressing in and through us is greater than any challenge that we have in life. God in you is greater than any challenge or difficulty. God as you, for you are the divine in expression. You are not a mere human, but a very powerful, creative, spiritual being. And you are meant to be here to have this human experience, but also to awaken to the powerful, creative spirit that you are. And there is nothing to fear, knowing that God is always here as you. And so it is. So let's just take that into prayer. And I invite you to take another deep breath as you close your eyes and center within. As we remember that which is within us is greater than anything in the outer. It is greater than the past or the future. For what is the most important thing is what is within us. The loving power of God to heal and transform. The love that we are here to share and express. So let us, in our hearts, make a commitment to let love be as us each day. Let us begin each day with that loving intention to be the love of God in expression, to show others what God's love, what divine love truly is. Unconditional, unlimited, healing, harmonizing. The infinite power of divine love is who you are, and so it is. Amen. Thank you. Okay. Let's see, is that all I have to do? Take place. Okay.
Thank you so much, Virginia. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you. A lovely, lovely message. And big thanks to Charlie as well. As you can see, we got multiple guests here this morning. It's a fun time. Yeah. I think we've almost pulled it off. Charlie's got one more song for you guys. Shall we hear it?
Oh, yeah.
All right, man. Take it away.
I think this is kind of a fit after what you just said. It's called Storms Will Come.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe that's all I need to say besides what I'm going to say. Storms will come and storms will go. It's not always fun, but then you'll know how to be free and let life prove you only are free when you let things move. Storms will come and storms will go. Just stand in the wind and let things blow. Blow you away and cleanse your soul. You're willing to say what you can't control, and then you fly on the wind, and then you soar into your beginning, and then you sail on the wind, and then you dive into your beginning, into your beginning. Storms will come and storms will go. It's not always fun, but then you'll know how to be free and let life prove you only are free when you let things move. And then you fly on the wind, and then you soar into your beginning, and then you sail on the wind, and then you dive into your beginning, into your beginning, into your beginning, into your beginning. Storms will come. Thank you. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Charlie. So we're going to stand and sing the peace song. Oh,
Oh, yeah,
Remember,
please,
yeah?
please.
So he said I could tell you that I have some CDs outside. You may have seen them coming in. One other thing, if you want all 18 of my albums for $30, you can pick up a thumb drive. That's a deal.
Hey, there you go.
And I'm doing trips to Italy twice a year. Just came back this month. So if you want to come to me with Italy, come with me, 10, 12 people, and I bring my guitar. We have a blast for 2 weeks. So take a look at the Italy flyer. Thank you so much.
Yeah, please check out Charlie's table as you guys leave. It's awesome. Want to
Thank you,
thank
Charlie.
him
It
for
was
being
great.
here.
Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me.
And we'll say the prayer of protection together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Yes. Thanks to Virginia. Thanks to Charlie. Thanks to all of you for being with us this morning. Trunk or Treat is coming up, and we got a little special Halloween song from Michael here. This is a tune that he wrote.